Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. Brook Lynn Ashton on General Hospital has had a few different faces but the same history. However, for newer viewers who might not remember that history, we're here to fill you in with some highlights. Brook Lynn was originally played by Brooke Radding when the character was first introduced back in October 1996. After being written out in 2000, and one she returned in 2004 played by Adrienne Leon. After leaving in 2006, Leon returned in 2010 for another stint that lasted until 2011. In November 2019, Amanda Seton, Kimberly, One Life to Live, became the third actress to play the role. Though in August 2020, she went on maternity leave, and the role was temporarily recast with Brianna Lane. By November, the character had left Port Charles again, but Seton was back in the role by March 2021, and continues to play her to this day. Brook Lynn is the daughter of Ned Ashton Quatermain and Lois Cerullo. Following her parents' divorce, she was raised by her mother until moving to live with her father as a teenager. She befriended Georgie Jones and Dylan Quatermain, but resisted their suggestions that she pursue her singing professionally, as it was what her mother had always pressured her to do. Things got worse with her mother when Lois got involved with criminal Lorenzo Alcazar, so Brook gave her a taste of her own medicine by cozying up to Diego Alcazar. However, despite her running away to Mexico with him and trying to help him find out if Sonny Corinthos was responsible for his father's death, Brook was left out in the cold when Diego turned to Maxie Jones. Worse, she wound up as Maxie's roommate at Port Charles University. When Brook was drugged at a party and nude photos of her were later circulated, she realized that Diego was the stalker behind it. He wanted revenge because he blamed Brook and the other teens for Sage Alcazar's death at the Quatermain mansion. Brook decided to leave Port Charles to finally pursue a music career, but returned a few years later after she was cut off from her trust fund. She earned a little extra money from Carly, who hired her to seduce Dante Falconeri away from Lulu Spencer. But after finding Dante truly loved Lulu, Brook had to resort to drugging him so they could be found in a compromising position. But when Lulu saw that he had been drugged, Brook tried to throw Carly under the bus, but Carly turned the blame right back around on her. Nicholas didn't look like he minded being fought over by Liz and Brook. Howard Wise/ChipPstudios.com. Still not wanting to turn to the Quatermains for help, Brook found work with Nicholas Casadine, being his companion for business functions and various events. But as they began to develop real feelings for each other, Elizabeth Weber tried to get her claws into him herself. Although Nicholas chose Brook, he later urged her to pursue the offer she had to go on tour with a band, and the two parted as friends. Brook Lynn showed up in Port Charles again in November of 2019, when she drowned her sorrows in Charlie's pub and struck up a conversation with Julian Jerome. It turned out she was hoping to use some of the Quatermain influence to get rid of her former manager Link, who was pressuring her into finishing out her contract. Ned refused to bail out his daughter, so she decided to sell her shares of ELQ to Valentin Casadine in exchange for him getting Link off her back. Ned offered his daughter a job at ELQ, but Brook Lynn accidentally exposed a secret deal in a social media post and was fired. She lashed out at Lulu for posting the story about her mistake, and the longtime rivals had a vicious catfight that got Brook arrested. Later, they tried to make peace and Brook asked Lulu if she could borrow her boyfriend, Dustin Phillips, who she'd known back in the day, so they could collaborate on a new song. When it was revealed that Brook Lynn had sold her shares to Valentine, Ned was so furious with his daughter that he threw her out of the mansion. She was planning to perform a new theme for Deception at the 2020 Nurses' Ball. But when she stumbled upon Nell Benson plotting Wiley's kidnapping, Brook Lynn tried to call the cops and Nell attacked her, slitting her throat with a pair of scissors. Thankfully, she survived, but still refused to accept her father's apologies and crashed on Harrison Chase's couch instead of going home with performing a new song to promote deception. Brook Lynn asked Annie Driscoll to provide the voice, as she was still unable to sing after her throat injury. Unfortunately, during a live performance for a potential investor, Brook Lynn and Amy's deception was exposed, and she got fired. After learning that Ned had cheated on Olivia with Alexis, Brook Lynn was disgusted, and every attempt to get the father and daughter to reconcile failed. One night, Brook Lynn sought comfort in Valentine's bed, and when she decided she needed to go back to Bensonhurst to get some perspective on things, she had a pregnancy test in her bag. When Brook Lynn returned to Port Charles in March 2021, she was sporting a massive baby bump and wasted no time informing Valentine that he was going to be a daddy. She also used the unborn child as leverage to pressure Valentine into giving the shares of ELQ he'd snatched up back to the Quartermaines. The only problem was, Brook Lynn wasn't actually pregnant. Realizing she was going to have to produce a baby so Valentine would keep his side of the bargain, she partnered with Maxie, who actually was expecting a child. Maxie was willing to go along with the crazy baby switch plan, so she could protect her daughter from her dangerous father, Peter August. But Valentine moved himself, daughter Charlotte, and bodyguard Yuri into the Quartermaine mansion to keep a close eye on Brook Lynn. So it was tough to pull off this crazy scheme. When Valentine got suspicious, Brook Lynn finally came clean and told him he wasn't really Bailey's father. However, before she could tell him the real truth, Chase stepped in and claimed to be the girl's baby daddy. But having the cop in on the scheme complicated things more when Brook Lynn began falling for him. Even after returning Louise to Maxie, Brook Lynn remained connected to Chase. Brook Lynn was annoyed when Link resurfaced, and furious to learn that he owned all the music she'd written under his contract. Chase declined to help, but when things turned nasty, he slugged the sleazy producer and got suspended from the police force. Brook Lynn took advantage of the opportunity to persuade Chase to pursue a singing career in an attempt to bring Link down and get her songs back. This brought them even closer than before, and Brook Lynn and Chase finally made their relationship official. Unfortunately, Chase broke up with her when he found out that Brook Lynn had been contacted about writing a letter of recommendation to get him reinstated as a police officer, but she never did. Some months later, Chase tried to rekindle things with Brook Lynn, but he was upset when she admitted she'd agreed not to testify against Link in exchange for the rights to her songs. But at the 2023 Nurses' Ball, Blaze and Brook Lynn publicly accused Link of being a predator on stage. She also spoke up for Chase at his review board hearing, and he was reinstated as a police detective. But it was later revealed that Tracy had also interceded to get Chase's job back, and she forced Brook Lynn to go back to work at Deception and steal company secrets for her regarding the Deceptor. When Brook Lynn was caught, she confessed to her corporate espionage, even telling Chase about Tracy's involvement in getting him reinstated. She was upset to learn that Tracy was using the evidence she gathered to sue Deception and decided to move out of the Quartermaine mansion. When Chase invited her to move in with him, she accepted. After being fired from Deception, Brook Lynn was cheered up when her mother Lois arrived to support her. Tracy tried to make amends with Brook Lynn by offering her shares of Deception, but she didn't want to go back there. However, she later changed her mind and accepted, intending to eventually turn the shares over to Maxie to apologize for stealing the documents. Chase popped the question and Brook Lynn happily accepted and began planning the wedding. However, given the failing health of Chase's father, Gregory Chase, they decided they needed to move the date up. She was thrilled when Tracy gave her permission to wear Leela's wedding dress, but when it turned out to be too fragile to alter, she agreed to use a portion of it with a new dress. Chase surprised her with a honeymoon trip to Italy, but he had to sell his truck to pay for it. Brook Lynn was about to buy him a new car, but Tracy warned her not to make him feel bad by devaluing his bachelorette parties. Gregory had a health emergency, but he promised the couple he would be well enough to officiate their wedding. And when the big day came around in May 2024, he had a little case of nerves, but helped pronounce Brook, Lynn, and Chase man and wife. Tragically, Gregory passed away that night, and the newlyweds postponed their honeymoon as Brook, Lynn comforted her grieving husband. When Finn fell off the wagon, Brook, Lynn, and Chase stepped up to take care of Violet while he went to rehab. They enjoyed helping raise Violet so much that when she left to live with her father in Seattle, Brook, Lynn, and Chase decided to have a baby of their own. Brook Lynn Quartermain has become one of the most dynamic and beloved characters on General Hospital. A member of the prestigious Quartermain family, Brook Lynn's storylines have been filled with music, romance, family drama, and moments of redemption. Over the years, she has evolved from a rebellious young woman into a character whose heart and tenacity continue to shine through in every storyline. Here's everything you need to know about Brook Lynn Quartermain's history, relationships, and what the future may hold for her in Port Charles. Brook Lynn Ashton, better known as Brook Lynn Quartermain, is the daughter of Ned Quartermain, Waddy Kurth, and Lois Cerullo, Rena Sofa. Born into the wealthy and complicated Quartermain family, Brook Lynn's life has always been a mix of privilege and expectation. Named after her parents' shared love of Brooklyn, New York, her connection to her Italian-American heritage through her mother, and the business-savvy Quartermain side through her father has shaped her identity. Brook Lynn is the granddaughter of Edward and Leela Quartermain, making her part of one of General Hospital's most storied families. Growing up, she often found herself torn between her mother's down-to-earth roots and her father's pressure to conform to the Quartermain legacy. From a young age, Brook Lynn demonstrated a passion for music, something she inherited from her mother, Lois, who managed rock bands. Unlike many other Quartermains, who are known for their corporate ambitions and family feuds over ELQ, Brook Lynn chose to carve her own path in the music industry. Her early appearances on General Hospital showed a rebellious and determined young woman who refused to live by the Quartermain rules. Her dream of becoming a successful singer-songwriter often clashed with her family's expectations, leading to tension and plenty of dramatic confrontations. Over the years, Brook Lynn has been at the center of several major storylines that have defined her character. Brook Lynn's struggles often made her vulnerable to manipulation. At one point, she was blackmailed into schemes that caused rifts between her and her loved ones. Her ambition and impulsiveness sometimes led her down questionable paths, but she always found a way to redeem herself. Brook Lynn's journey in the music world was anything but easy. She faced exploitation, setbacks, and even sabotage, but her resilience kept her pushing forward. Her music career also intertwined with romantic entanglements, adding layers to her character's evolution. Brook Lynn's relationship with the Quartermain family has always been complicated. Her father, Ned, tried to provide guidance, but their differing perspectives often led to conflict. Her interactions with her fiery grandmother, Tracy Quartermain, brought both humor and intensity to the show. Despite the drama, Brook Lynn has always been fiercely loyal to her family when it truly matters. After a long absence, Brook Lynn returned to Port Charles in 2019, portrayed by Amanda Setton. Her reappearance immediately reignited old rivalries, romances, and family conflicts. This new iteration of Brook Lynn brought a mature yet still fiery version of the character to the forefront. Upon her return, Brook Lynn became a central figure in several key storylines. Brook Lynn found herself embroiled in the Quartermain family's ongoing battles over ELQ, the family business. Her attempts to gain a seat at the corporate table often put her at odds with other family members, particularly Michael and Valentine Casadine. One of Brook Lynn's most surprising and complex relationships has been with Valentine Casadine. While initially enemies, Brook Lynn and Valentine shared a complicated dynamic that shifted over time. Valentine's involvement in Brook Lynn's music career and later storylines added unexpected depth. One of Brook Lynn's most significant and emotional story arcs involved her faking a pregnancy to protect Maxie Jones' baby from the dangerous Peter August. This storyline showcased Brook Lynn's growth as a character, revealing her willingness to sacrifice her own reputation to do what was right. Her bond with Maxie and the emotional toll of pretending to be a mother made for powerful television. Brook Lynn's decision to step up as a protector demonstrated her evolution from a self-focused young woman to someone who would fight for those she cared about. Brook Lynn's love life has always been a source of intrigue for fans. Some of her notable relationships include: in her early years, Brook Lynn was involved with Diego Alcazar, a relationship that brought danger and heartbreak. Diego's dark side ultimately led to tragedy, marking one of Brook Lynn's first major romantic storylines. Brook Lynn's long-standing friendship with Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, has often sparked speculation among fans. While their connection has remained platonic, their deep bond and mutual respect have been a highlight of Brook Lynn's story. Brook Lynn's relationship with Detective Harrison Chase, Josh Twickard, has been one of her most beloved pairings. Their slow-burn romance, filled with witty banter, emotional moments, and undeniable chemistry, has won over viewers. Chase's support during Brook Lynn's toughest moments, including the baby storyline, solidified their connection. Fans continue to root for this couple as they navigate the ups and downs of love in Port Charles. Brook Lynn's journey has been one of growth and redemption. She started as a rebellious and headstrong young woman determined to prove herself outside of the Quartermain name. Over time, she has evolved into a character with depth, heart, and a fierce loyalty to those she loves. Her struggles in the music industry, conflicts with her family, and willingness to take risks for the greater good have made her a fan-favorite character. Brook Lynn's imperfections make her relatable, while her strength and resilience make her someone fans admire. As Brook Lynn continues to navigate her life in Port Charles, fans can expect more drama, romance, and moments of triumph. Her relationship with Chase is likely to face new challenges, while her role in the Quartermain family remains as contentious as ever. Cameron Matheson, Drew Kane, recently teased that Brook Lynn could play a bigger role in upcoming ELQ storylines, hinting at potential power struggles that will test her loyalty to her family. Additionally, Brook Lynn's musical aspirations may resurface, leading to exciting new opportunities and conflicts. Amanda Seton, who portrays Brook Lynn, has expressed her love for the character's complexity. Brook Lynn is such a dynamic character, Seton said in a recent interview. She's strong, passionate, and fiercely loyal, but she's also flawed, which makes her real. I think fans can look forward to seeing her continue to grow. Brook Lynn has sparked passionate reactions from fans over the years. Some love her fiery personality and loyalty, while others have criticized her impulsive decisions. Regardless of where fans stand, there's no denying that Brook Lynn brings energy and excitement to every scene. One fan wrote, "Brook Lynn is one of the most underrated characters on GH. She's got so much heart, and I love seeing her stand up for herself and her family." Another commented, "Her chemistry with Chase is everything. I'm rooting for them to finally get their happy ending." Brook Lynn Quartermain's journey on General Hospital has been one of passion, resilience, and growth. From her early struggles in the music industry to her recent heroics in protecting Maxie's baby, Brook Lynn has proven time and again that she's a force to be reckoned with. As her story continues to unfold, fans can expect more drama, romance, and unforgettable moments from this beloved Quartermain. Whether she's battling for ELQ, pursuing her dreams, or standing up for those she loves, Brook Lynn remains one of General Hospital's most captivating characters. Stay tuned to General Hospital to see what's next for Brook Lynn in the ever-dramatic world of Port Charles. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updated news.